And you're like, shut up, booty witty, don't call me Apu.
Thing,
Lots of
right?
people Baba Mother ke apni kore dake, right?
My
That's-
dad,
I can't even imagine.
my dad's siblings, they all called my grandparents, but they also grew up in Pakistan for a lot of it, where in Pakistan it's very common to say "aap" to refer to their parents. But that changes the dynamic again.
It does, because
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. There's no
There's already a distance.
word for it. Like just how you, like my mom is always like, my kids fight all the time, and there's such a difference in age. And she's like, ছোটটা যদি বড়টাকে আপু ডাকে তাহলে কিন্তু এগুলো হবে না. And I was like,
Yeah.
but at that I call my sister Apu, and there are very clear boundaries.
Yeah.
Really? You feel that?
Oh yeah. I think my younger sister was able to overcome a lot of it.
Does
being
your
in the
younger
same
sister
city.
call you Apu?
Nope. Mary.
Oh.
So how did that change?
I didn't want her to call me Apu.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah, like I don't
we
call
were in
my
public
brother
all the
Bhaiya.
time.
Yeah.
You don't? What do you call him? Gudu?
Gudu, yeah. And that was always like, he's like, don't call me Bhaiya. And nobody does. Like, he told all my cousins, because he's actually one of the oldest in our family. But yeah, I mean, that was just the dynamic we had. And similarly, like, it's weird when people call me Apu too. Like, it's just again, I think I have this disdain over that. Like, there should be no hierarchy based on, your age.
If someone calls me Apu, I freaking melt.
Die.
Like, take my money. It's all that I had to do was be like, Apu.
Disturbed korlam Apu.
Disturbed korlam Apu.
Oh my God. Like, all of a sudden, I'm just like, oh.
There's definitely, again, the endearment of it all.
Yes.
Which is the cute version of that. But then there is also a version where you use that as a hierarchy thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can do no wrong, and these are my, little minions, peons, who will do all my...
Bangladesh, I used to hate Kaje, but people I don't know, or people even, like, especially this happens in Bangladesh, when people I don't know refer to me as Apu, Bhabi.
Oh, it's so gross. Especially Apu. Like in Bongo Bazar, Apu, Ashin.
Not anymore. Ajkal, so it's not Apu anymore.
Madam.
It's, Apa also means like Aru Boru.
No, but Bhabi. Even like I'm not even saying like people that would serve you or like would sell you things. I mean, just like regular people. We're in the workplace. I mean, I don't want to be called Apu by my colleagues. I mean, I'm not sure Apu.
But they do that.
They do that, yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. It's disrespectful.
It's a respect thing.
And I will tell you, when I first started in the workforce here in the U.S., and I had like brown colleagues who were obviously older than me, I had a very like strange transition to just calling them by their names. Yeah. I felt like I was disrespecting them. And I mean, I didn't even know these people, but to me in my mind, I'm like, oh, this is so disrespectful. Like I should be calling them like uncle or,
or like I'll never switch languages. Like it'll always be English because English is formal and English is what you say at work. And that's how I will call you, whatever your name is.
Hossein.
But there's
so weird. Like from calling like Hossein uncle to like Hossein, how are you doing? This is weird.
It is.
Yeah.
That's funny. But I would say like I've made some new Bangladeshi friends here.
Yeah.
And the dynamic now is different because like they're all like coupled up with kids and all of that.
Yeah.
Whereas other times, if I had to make friends on my own, Bengali friends on my own, it was like fuad, like we were young. So it was like, tui kore boli, like there was none of that formality. But now I'm just like, what do I call them? Like the girls, I think we can tell we're the same age. We're moms, so it's easy to call them by their names. Unless I clearly know that they're older.
Yeah.
But I don't know what to call their husbands when I'm just like, I'm pretty sure we're the same age, but do I call you Bhai? Do I say Apni? Do I just call you by your name? Like, I find that really, unless they tell me this is what you should say, I find it really weird. So I kind of skirt around it all the time.
I can see that. Yeah.
And I don't know how to deal with it. If I had met them in another context as like single, no kids, easy. I don't know. I don't know what to call them.
I feel like if they have older kids, like if they have kids that are college going, then I'll probably call them Apu or Bhabi and Bhaiya. But if they have kids like my age, then I'm gonna call them by their names. Or if they don't have kids, because I'm kind of assuming that we're probably around the same age, give or take 5 years.
There's people my age with kids in college.
Yeah, it's true.
Like when you get to that point where you're not the young one anymore and you're actually the oldest.
Yeah, you should have less and less people to call Bhai.
Yeah.
We old. Okay.
And then this one guy calls me Bhabi. And I'm like, there's no Bhai. Why do you call me Bhai?
Oh, shit.
And he's like, hey, Bhabi. And I'm like, there's no Bhai. You don't have to call him Bhabi.
It's just so weird to even hear it. Like, I would be like, what?
And arekta jinish hocche, I feel like if someone calls you Apu ba Bhabi and you're like, don't call me that. I feel like they feel like
they get embarrassed too.
No,
right?
no, not that they get embarrassed. That or I feel like if I tell them that na makita daikona, maybe they're gonna think that either one, I feel younger than I am, or two, I see them in a different way, right? Like, why are you calling me Apu, right? Like, I can be your girlfriend, right? Like, we'd heard it.
I mean, that's interesting. Because I've never thought about it that way. I always just say like, oh, you don't need to call me Apu. You can just call me by my name.
That happened with Hasi. Do you remember? I was in New York with them.
Yeah.
And Fuad's like one of his lead singers. Like his voice is just magic. And he guitar and all of these things, and I'm just sitting there just like living and melting.
Oh my God.
Like you could see what was happening to her.
Pura.
Oh my God.
And then he's like, Apu. And I was like,
oh wow.
That one hit me hard. I was like, no, I'm not your Apu. You're that young? How old are you? Super young. Super young.
So I'm always afraid if someone calls me Apu, I'm afraid to be like, nah, don't call me Apu. Because I feel like either they think that I think that I'm not old, or they might think that, I'm Elaine Martachachi or something along
those lines. Or people do that. They'll be like, Amar Boishi, but they're like, no, to be Amar Apu. And I'm like, shut up. I know you're my age. Like, no.
Oh my God.
People do that.
Yeah,
because guys do that,
really
right?
Young.
Also, ছেলেরা করে না যখন তুমি ভাইয়া ডেকে ফেলো তখন they're like, I'm not your bhaiya.
Oh, I don't know about that, but I've seen that in the female dynamic a lot.
For sure. Oh yeah, for sure.
Apu, and you're like, shut up, booty booty, don't call me Apu.
Oh my God.